A mother's desperate fight for her child's mental health care has exposed a shocking lack of support for those with severe OCD. Imagine a vibrant, active 12-year-old suddenly transformed into a shell of themselves, consumed by an overwhelming obsession. This is the heart-wrenching story of a young boy's battle with OCD and his family's struggle to navigate a broken system, a mother's nightmare. The boy's mother, forced to quit her job to care for him, describes a terrifying transformation. Overnight, her son became a different person, afraid of others, exercising excessively, and counting compulsively. He embarked on late-night bike rides and exercised until the early hours, a far cry from his former self. A desperate search for help. The family's journey through the mental health system was a frustrating and often futile one. After weeks of trying to secure an urgent referral, they turned to a private counselor, who immediately recognized the severity of the situation and urged them to seek emergency care. At Dunedin Hospital, the boy's distress escalated, leading to a sedated admission to the adult psychiatric unit due to a lack of space in the pediatric service. His mother had to stay by his side constantly, a challenging task amidst adult patients. Specialist care, but no long-term solution. The boy spent 6 months at Nakakano, a specialist unit in Christchurch, where he received treatment for severe treatment-resistant OCD. The team there described his case as one of the most severe they'd encountered. Despite this, upon discharge, he was offered just 1 hour of weekly therapy and a doctor to manage his medication. The promise of wraparound care. The family was promised comprehensive support, or wraparound care, but this never materialized. The mother was left alone to care for her son, with no teacher aid or additional support, a situation she had feared and been assured would not happen. A lack of support, a lack of progress. Without the promised support, the boy's return to school was challenging, resulting in multiple hospital admissions and an extended absence from school. The initial assessment by Synergy Wellness, contracted by Health NZ, recommended 20 hours of weekly support. But this was not provided due to capacity issues. The family was offered a fraction of the recommended support, and even this was difficult to access. The approved providers in Otago deemed his needs too complex, and the mother's allocated carer support days were virtually unusable due to administrative errors. A community steps in. A family friend connected the mother with Te Ropu Te Toko Ki Te Tonga, a community health provider who offered immediate support. However, their efforts to provide the funded support hours were thwarted due to their status as an unapproved provider. Manager Rhonda Ross expressed frustration with the bureaucratic red tape, highlighting the impact it had on the family's ability to access much-needed support. The system's failures. The story sheds light on the broader failures of the mental health system for children and young people. In many cases, support is only accessible if a child commits a crime or becomes a statistic. The mother, an incredible parent, was left with no choice but to quit her job to care for her son full-time. Health NZ's response. Health NZ acknowledged the family's distress and apologized for their perception of inadequate care. They highlighted their commitment to high standards and took patient concerns seriously. An intervention plan was agreed upon, and the boy now receives some schooling at a special day program thanks to advocacy efforts. A future uncertain. As the family awaits another needs assessment, the future remains uncertain. The mother's hope for her son's future is clear: a life free from isolation, with the support he deserves. And this is the part most people miss. The story of this family's struggle is not an isolated incident. It highlights the urgent need for systemic change and increased resources to support those battling mental health issues, especially our most vulnerable young people. What are your thoughts? Do you think enough is being done to support those with mental health needs? Share your opinions in the comments below.